everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about Mike Williams being traded to the Steelers. Yes, yes, yes. I know this happened recently. I really want to, get my thoughts to you folks about this situation, about this trade. Been a lot of things going on in the world. I hope everybody's, safe with their friends and their family and their loved ones and enjoying their lives. So let's get into it and talk about this, okay? For those of you that may not know, the New York Jets traded Mike Williams, wide receiver, to the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? In this trade, the Jets get a 2025 fifth-round pick from the Steelers, and the Steelers get Mike Williams. Now, keep in mind as well, as the Jets have traded Mike Williams to the Steelers, they also take a hit with the cap situation because of the contract that they gave Mike Williams. The Jets eat $8 million of dead cap money with, sending Mike Williams to the Steelers. So it is what it is there, right? And man, my thoughts on this is kind of crazy, right? Because there was a lot of talks about the Jets moving on from Mike Williams at one point, right? It was just all over the place. A lot of rumors swirling about the Jets looking to deal him and all these things that were going on. He was even asked about it as well by Jets media. They asked him if he even wanted to be here, and he replied, hey, I'm here. This is where I want to be. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing everything I can to prepare and get ready for these games. The thing is, the New York Jets signed Mike Williams this recent offseason, and we were all excited. All of us as Jets fans, right? Now, again, he did have an injury that he was healing up from, right? And it was a big injury, but we were saying, okay, he's going to be back. But the timetable at the time was kind of strange for him to, come back and get back on the field. Initially, a lot of Jets fans, including myself, didn't believe that he was going to be fully ready until well into the season, maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks into the season, and then we would see Mike Williams. Well, remarkably, right, Mike Williams was able to heal up, get things ready to go, and he was ready before the season started, and we were all hyped about what he brought to the offense. Big body guy, goes up and catches it. He's a guy that can, jump high. He's a 50-50 type guy, so you just throw the ball in his direction, and he's so big, and the wingspan is so long, he can just go up and get it and make it happen. Not only can he get things done, of course, in the field and moving around and shaking, but he can also be a threat within the red zone because of his size. A lot of things open up, lob balls and fades, all kind of great things open up with Mike Williams. Well, a lot of that stuff, man, just never seemed to materialize within the Jets offense with him. It just didn't seem like him and Aaron Rodgers or this offense ever really got off to a clicking start, right? His best game with the New York Jets, me personally, that I thought was his game that he had against the Broncos, which is crazy because we know he'd been a Charger for a long time before he came and became a New York Jet. So he's very familiar with what the Broncos, bring to the table and some of their players. But he had a phenomenal game against the Broncos. I thought he was the best player, offensive player, as far as wide receiver on the field for the Jets. That game he was. He had 4 catches for 67 yards. He was handling business. Everything that Aaron Rodgers threw to him, he was going up and getting. Now, the Jets did, end up losing that game 10-9, but he went out there and took care of business, and he looked really, really good. And other facets of the Jets offense struggled in that football game. I mean, we only scored 9 points, right? But after that, it just seemed like things weren't consistent with him, and there was a lot of up and down things. You started to wonder where his head was at within the offense because he seemed not to know a lot of things that he needed to know when he was out there. It seems like there was a lot of miscommunications between him and Aaron Rodgers, and we saw that in the Vikings game where there was a ball thrown in his direction that actually ended the game because it got picked off, but he never even looked back for the football whatsoever, and it was thrown in his area. And a lot of people, believe that that was a ball, that was thrown in a spot where he was supposed to be, but he just kept on going down the field. Now, what was crazy about that was the Jets play the Bills. We lose to the Bills as well, right? 23-20. And in that game, there's a ball thrown in his direction, and he was supposed to be at a particular spot. He wasn't. The ball was thrown. He actually slipped trying to come back to it, and it ended up getting picked off. And Aaron Rodgers called him out after the game, which was surprising to me. It's the first time this season we've seen Aaron Rodgers speak on anyone or call anyone out the way he called Mike Williams out. And I want you folks to hear what he had to say about the situation with Mike Williams.
Can you go over that pass to Mike Williams, the last one that was picked off?
Yeah. What about it?
What specifically did you see on the throw? How would you throw out?
There's two verticals, Allen's down the seam, Mike's down the red line. So I'm looking at Allen. He puts his hand up, three guys go with him, so I'm throwing a no-look to the red line. And when I just peek my eyes back there, he's running an inbreaker. So it's got to be down the red line.
So were you throwing that spot Mike to come back to it?
No, I was throwing it to the red line, but when I got to about here, I realized he was running an inbreaker, so I had to kind of adjust it a little bit. But the play is two guys vertical, one guy down the seam, one guy on the red line.
Whoa. And a lot of people gave Aaron Rodgers guff about that, about calling his teammate out and saying what he said publicly about, hey, Mike Williams was supposed to be here. He wasn't. I peeked and he wasn't there. And then, the throw was made, but he was not supposed to be running that route. And, he put Mike Williams on blast. Like, hey, he was supposed to be in a certain spot. He wasn't there. He went to a spot where he wasn't supposed to go. He didn't know where he was supposed to be within the offense. So, man, things just really started to go downhill, and there was a lot of issues. Now, Aaron Rodgers has come out since Mike Williams has been dealt to the Steelers and just, wished him nothing but well going forward in his time with the Steelers, and that was that, right? So I hope there's no hard feelings in between either of those players. But now you look at the New York Jets' options at wide receiver after moving on from Mike Williams. It starts to make you wonder why they decided to trade Mike Williams at this point, right? Of course, you got Garrett Wilson, who's a phenomenal player, right? We're seeing him put on and handle business. There has been some moments. We've seen some drops that turn into interceptions, some fumbles, but guess what? Garrett Wilson is unbelievable. The one-handed catch. He's going out there and he's taking care of business. He's a guy, man, that I hope is a Jet for years to come. You got Devontae Adams, who we just recently acquired. Jets fans are extremely happy about that. He's handling business. He's Devontae Adams. He just closed out a game against the Houston Texans with a touchdown. I think it was like a 37-yard touchdown he was able to get. The connection between him and Aaron Rodgers is, continuing to cook, so we love that. But after that, there's some questions, right? Xavier Gipson. Xavier Gipson is a special teams guy that's given us something, as far as kickoff and punt returns. But he hasn't done enough yet to where you can look at him and be like, okay, that can be a reliable number 3 for us, right? He hasn't done enough. And you're wondering, when is that going to come about? Is this the opportunity for him to take that step forward? Because Allen Lazard is on IR at this point. He's dealing with a chest injury. So he's going to be there a couple weeks. So you got to wonder who's going to step up and fill in to that number 3 wide receiver role, right? You got Irvin Charles. Irvin Charles is really a special teams guy. And he's got quite a bit of penalties on special teams this year as well, too. He's been a bit frustrating there. But, he's more of a special teamer. But then the other guy that I'm looking at and I'm really hoping, can step up and really have some impact is Malachi Corley. Malachi Corley, a guy the Jets just recently drafted, and he has the physical ability to handle business, right? He has it. We've seen him do things. Of course, his after the catch stuff is really, really great. We all know that that's more of his forte. But with all those guys, with Mike Williams gone, Allen Lazard on IR, I'm wondering if this opens up a door for him to step into the role and really have an impact this season at the New York Jets number 3 wide receiver spot. Mentally, is he there? Like, we got to wonder, right? Because recently, he just dropped the ball on a walk-in touchdown. Dropped the ball before he got into the end zone, which costed us against Houston, which actually gave them the football back because the ball, rolled out of the back of the end zone. It was a touchback. So you got to wonder, can Malachi Corley really get things going? Now, again, he's said he's moving past that and all that stuff. And I'm excited for him because, again, I think he has the ability. But one big knock on Malachi coming out of college was route running. That's the one really big thing I want to see is how significantly better is he route running? Can he route things up? That's going to be a big thing for him. I think, being implemented more within this offense because of Allen Lazard being out and Mike Williams being gone. So this is big, man. This is big. The Jets have made moves. Again, they get a 2025 fifth rounder for it, and we're going to see how the Jets offense adjusts to, Mike Williams again being gone. Maybe they start utilizing the tight ends more in different sets. So we'll see. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.